I'm here in beautiful Sunnyvale, California, and I just watched Sarileru Neekevvaru. Oh, it's like American Beauty. Shit, dude, look at that fucking bag, dude. It's like American Beauty, and it was a bop. So this is half a musical analysis, actually, in that it was sort of like Chennai Express, a movie I've also watched on Netflix, but it was also like, may I say, uh, death grips, because it had some of those clattering hi hats, and it was just very fresh. There were some choice instrumentals from the movie, which I thought had a lot of kinetic potential, and it goes into this thing with half of the movie I watched without any. Oh, there's an airplane without any subtitles at all, and it was just bopping. It was a jam. Uh, you know, how many of these Indian movies could I watch? In these varying languages, which make almost no difference to me. I don't know. I've watched a few movies in Indian. One of them, Bandit Queen. That's a pretty good movie. A bit more serious, a bit more gritty, like movies I usually like to watch, which focus more on visuals, less on audio, less on the sort of audio visual co-distortion, which this one has, because it's all like slow mo, fast mo, slow mo. Is that a musical artist? I think. Um, it was in Telugu, which is one of the four main Dravidic languages, to my knowledge, which are Telugu, Tamil, uh, Kannada, like Canada, but it starts with a K and it has two N's. And there was a fourth, which started with an M. I'll get back to you on what that one is. But, so, I don't know what the fuck the plot was. It mostly seems sort of like a like sort of dreamlike, in that it's like disconnected. There was some plot about like spies. It's windy, so you might not be able to hear me. Some plot about spies, and I don't know, like stealing or making false transactions under the government's eye. Um, Under the government. How could you do this to the government? All very campy, this sort of like villain who, like, he's more menacing, more angular. I thought he actually looked a bit more heroic, so it sort of surprised me. Sort of like tenor, villainous sounding stuff, which I thought in a slightly different context could be more Weasley, but was a bit more of a pop facade for like, those usual sort of like dank, dark, sort of sardonic pop music that exists today. And like Taylor Swift is a good example of something very, very bubblegum, but still with that sort of like trap sensibility, which has infected a lot of modern pop music, but only so much. So this is Sarileru something something, and it is would I recommend it? I don't fucking know. You could put it on in the background. It's some okay music. I don't know. I haven't watched too many Indian movies. It was probably the most goodest because it didn't have too obnoxious of like choreographies and stuff. Uh, and it shows, just a different sensibility towards movies from ours, which is perhaps, interesting because it's more Disney-like. It's more old and shit. I guess it's not too different from like a Marvel movie, but strictly speaking, what I'd say makes it the movie that it is and instead of a Marvel movie, it is perhaps the sort of um, no, is it not a Marvel movie? I don't know. Sarileru. I guess that in a sort of Shakespearean way, because most of the movies in India are sort of like plays. It's not really distinct from like theater. Um, I'd say it's sort of like Oriental. Oh God, no, that's problematic. In that there's a lot of like A plots, B plots, C plots, which aren't even like A, B, C plots. They're more like, oh, this is the plot now. So, yeah, yeah, yeah. This is my new movie review series. Ha ha ha.